infatuated with the in-between, the ups and downs, the curves and the rounds. I'll bring it to your city or your hometown. I'll go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live.
And we are back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm West. This guy is David, and we are officially incorporated. How about you?
Yeah. No, this is actually a quick, funny story. I almost got taken last night. Google almost got me. Google advertising almost got me.
They do
But
that.
Before we delve into that, what are you drinking over there, West? What are you drinking tonight?
Well, it's always Oktoberfest somewhere, and I was able to find another pack of Founders Oktoberfest. It's a pretty tasty one.
Oh,
I like
man.
it. A
Wish
good
I-
Mars
I
and
wish I
Beers
could
hits
find me
the
some-
spot, man.
It does. It does. They got the Vinox beer down at the Ufbra House in Columbus right now,
Yeah.
which is a Christmas beer.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's yummy, tasty eatums right there. So I'll show you the glass that I'm using, and I'll see if you can guess the drink.
Okay, let's see. It's clear. I'm going to say vodka. Oh, nothing. You're drinking air. You're not drinking tonight.
Well, there's nothing in it yet. There's nothing in it
Okay.
yet.
All right. Show us what you got.
So I got myself a bottle of bourbon.
Okay.
This is the Weller Reserve.
Okay. So when you pour that in the glass, I'm supposed to guess what type of bourbon you would just pour it in there? You just show me the bottle.
And then I got the Angostura bitters.
Okay.
Some simple syrup.
Okay.
Got my large format ice cubes.
Okay. All right. Love those.
And I got my smoking globe over here tonight.
I love to smoke on the globe too.
I'm doing the smoked old fashions tonight.
That's good stuff, man. That is you gotta love a smoked old fashioned.
Yes, I had one again over the weekend, and at a restaurant. I was like, okay, that needs to go back. I did it once on the show before. I need to do it again.
Yeah.
So, and then I grabbed some orange bitters, Angostura bitters too. So
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's good stuff, man. I love an old fashioned. You know what's funny? I like an old fashioned when it's made. I don't care for the pre-made old fashioned, like, because you can get
crack open a can. Yeah, you
can get some pretty good distilleries making the pre-made cocktails like that, and they're just not as good in my opinion.
Yeah, you were not going to get an argument from me on that. So we're going to need a bit of a citrus peel here. So we're going to go ahead and peel that off, and I'm going to tell the good old story of me almost getting taken last night.
Let's hear it.
By the Googles, right?
The Googles.
So West and I, we found this business over in the Ohios.
We founded it. We didn't just find it. We found it.
Yeah, we founded it. We found it. We found
one of those.
And I've been kicking the can down the road. It's like, man, we need to get our federal tax ID number, and then we use that to get our state tax ID number. Then we need some banking, and there's just this stuff that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just been kicking it down the road. And last night, I decided, you know what? It's been long enough. It needs to happen. We can't wait any longer, right? Oh, I got my handy dandy jigger here too. So that's always
measuring thingy. Yeah, I don't know what they call it either.
It's called a jigger.
It's actually called a jigger.
Yeah, it's called a jigger.
I thought you were just being a Southern Ohioan.
No, it's a technical name for it. It's a jigger.
Okay, well, there you go. Look, how you doing, buddy?
Hey there.
What are you eating?
You come down. All right. So are we given a making an old fashioned class here?
Well, we got some old fashioned kids here. I think they need to learn how to make an old fashioned one of these days.
Excellent.
Gets thirsty.
So we've got the orange peel in here already because I like the extra, as I'm mixing it around. Now we're gonna precisely measure out the bourbon that we're putting into the
very
glass.
Precise measurements.
Very precise measure. Holy moly!
It's a big pour, Dave.
I actually might need to touch up a little bit more simple syrup with that heavy hand I went right there. So we're gonna give her an extra splash of the simple syrup.
Yep, that was a big pour.
It's gonna be about a double is what we're doing here, and I'm gonna go with the Angostura orange bitters here.
Orange. Are you eating gingerbread cookies?
Orange.
Yeah, they're shortbread.
What?
They're shortbread gingerman.
Shortbread gingerman.
Okay. We're gonna go with. We have a
Delicious.
double. I'm gonna go with 4 dashes.
Okay.
2, 3, 4 of the Angostura bitters.
You do? Amazing. Okay. Well,
Gotta have your spoon.
Go with lock and then chew up your gingerbread man first.
I mean, I'm curious. So,
Bye,
do
buddy.
they make a ginger flavored, the gingerbread flavored shortbread, or is it a shortbread shaped gingerman?
Well,
Wait, this could get weird.
It's gonna get real weird. So,
Get real weird.
my current wife says that it's shortbread, but my daughter was just eating one, and it smelled like gingerbread to me. My son calls them it calls gingerbread men gingermen.
Okay,
Sure.
all right.
I don't know where it came from, but look, he's a very polite young gentleman.
Yes,
The gingerman. The gingerman.
Yeah. So there we go. Now we've got it on the grubbly plank. That's how Harry Potter.
Nice.
In case you guys don't know that.
There you go. Let's see the
We're
smoke.
gonna
Let's see the
we're gonna
smoke
light
action.
that sucker. We're gonna light that sucker right on fire right there.
There you go. Do not light the bourbon in the glass on fire. Try not to burn your face off.
I make no promises. It would make great episodes.
It would actually.
Then we're
We'd
just
probably
gonna-
get really great views on that.
We're gonna drop that sucker right in there,
Nice.
and we're just gonna let that. Oh, it smells delicious. It's a hickory. That's a hickory. So we're gonna let that hickory just smoke in there and settle for a while. So as I'm clicking through Google's last night, I almost got taken, and I'm.
You were that close. You were that close.
Yes, I was literally on the hey, let's go ahead and pay for this page. And we keep telling you guys about most of the stuff that you need to do to start a business is free.
Mm-hmm.
We paid what $150 to LLC in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it. $150. So the federal EIN, I was like, it's always been free. But so I get to the thing. It's like, oh, this is what you need to do. Oh, all you need to do is pay. And all of its banners and everything is IRS 2022, all these forms and everything.
Uh-huh.
And it's
very
blue
official.
And it's blue, just like the IRS website. And it's like $250. And our people will review this and we'll get your EIN number. And I'm right there. I'm like, and I have my card out. And I'm ready to pay. And I'm like, this is not right. I'm gonna talk to Wes before I pull the trigger.
It seems high.
I'm like, that seems high. I mean, even if they're paying, even if they decided to start charging, going from $0 to $250, and that's a step.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So I back off of it. I back out. I'm like, all right. I'm calm. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna let this rest. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, do it again. So I'm talking with him before the show. And, just before we're getting ready to start the countdown, I'm like, oh, my Lord, I got taken. So I went through the history and found where I was. I was like, all right, so this website looks and is built specifically and deliberately to trick you into thinking that you are on the IRS website.
Yeah, you need to be real careful what you click on and make sure the URL that you mean to be on is the one you're actually on.
So it is the one I ended up clicking on was a paid advertisement or a paid promotion to be at the top of the Google search for this. For $250, we could have gotten it last night. Literally, I'm like, hey, I found the right website. Wes goes, that's cool. Hey, the countdown started. So this, just for those of you out there, I started and finished the submission, and we have our EIN number during our countdown.
Yeah, the countdown is 5 minutes. It took him less than 5 minutes to set up his EIN, his tax ID number with the IRS. Yes. It's that easy.
It took me less.
How much did it cost, David? Was it $250? Was it $500?
I had a coupon for $250 off being stupid. And that's what happened is I was not stupid this time. It saved myself saved us $250. And we have our EIN for the federal, and we'll probably go after the show, depending on how many smoked old fashions I have, and do the EIN for the state. So and then we can take those and continue our business dealings. So
so look, it was a close call, but it was a learning experience, David. It's a learning experience.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call it. That's what we're going to call it. Not Dave almost got took. Sorry, I got to switch some stuff around here.
Hilarious. That's pretty funny.
So I don't ever want to hear it's too hard to blah 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 bull crap.
You literally did it in 5 minutes after having been on the wrong website. So technically, you didn't even know what you were looking for before you started.
Yeah,
you found it, and you finished it within 5 minutes.
The questions are all the same. The forms you have to fill out are, literally, this company built their website to make you think you were on the IRS website.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to go back to it later after the show in a slightly inebriated, pissed off mood. And I'm going to find out who it is, where they're based out of, and all the things that I can about it. That way we can share it with people, make sure, hey, you don't fall for this.
I'll bet literally
less than 5 minutes, I had it done.
I'll bet they're not even based in the United States. I'll bet they're not, even though they're getting you your IRS, your federal tax ID number, your EIN, I'll bet they're not based in the United States.
Yeah.
Did you hear? Oh, I should have found an article on this. I probably easily could. Did you hear about the speaking of companies that seem legit that aren't based in the country they're supposed to be based in? Did you hear about the what's the name of the company that sells the land in Scotland where you can buy like a lordship or a
you can buy it 1 square foot of land
right
lord in Scotland?
Yeah. So did you hear about that whole thing this last couple of weeks?
No, I haven't heard anything all about it.
All right, so here's the thing. So it came out that the whole thing's a scam. Obviously, the whole thing's a scam. So what they're doing is they're trying to sell you the idea that if you own land in Scotland, you officially get the title of lord or lady, right?
Yeah.
Which, first of all, isn't necessarily true, because that comes along with a knighthood, which you don't get just by owning a plot of land. Somebody who buys a house isn't automatically lord. There'd be a billion lords, right? Or a million, however many people live in Scotland. So, in addition,
7.
in addition, this company isn't actually selling you a plot of land. They are selling you a certificate that is basically what's called, it's like a novelty gift, according to like government filings. They're not actually selling you a plot of land. They own some land in Scotland. The company does, but you don't own any of it. You're not entitled to any of it. So even if they did have the title for owning land, you don't get it. So that's that. In addition, people looked up who owns this company. Who owns this company that's making this lie in Scotland?
Mhm.
Well, even though they own some land in Scotland, the company is actually owned by another company in Hong Kong.
Imagine that.
And the company that's in Hong Kong is owned by a third company, also in Hong Kong. And that's what
I
they
love
do.
it.
Is this company, it sells scams. They have these things all over the world where they sell these different plots of land, or they'll sell this and that, and you don't actually own any of it. But you just paid $80 for a piece of paper that says you own land in Scotland when you really don't. Good times. Hilarious. Scams are everywhere. So look out. Make sure you're on the website that you think you're on before you pay anything. Don't get me started on how I had to completely reinstall the operating system on this Mac a week after I got it. I'm still
I remember
kind of
that. I remember that. Your
kind
wife.
of annoyed about that. David, don't say who did what. I'm just saying I'm very annoyed.
I'm sorry. I sneezed and it just sounded like your wife. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Gesundheit.
It still doesn't run the same, in my opinion. It's still not the same. So anyway,
it's not the same computer.
It's not.
It's
not. It's tainted. So David,
don't. Okay,
we're not talking.
Let's not go down that road.
Let's
not go down that road.
This is a family show, David. This is what this is.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Most parents they wait. They can't wait till Wednesday night to 7 so that they can hand their kids off to West and Dave and have them teach them.
Right, my kids come and join the.
They watch.
My kids come and join the conversation.
Is Teletubbies still a thing? I don't even know.
Yeah, my kids come around just to watch you make a cocktail and eat gingerbread cookies. It was fun. It was nice.
It's nice and smoky in there. I'm letting it really settle.
Nice, good stuff.
Nice and smoky in there.
So, David, do you have any news articles for us today?
I do not have any news articles for today. I am literally trying to, at the same time, because I'm trying different lighting over here. I'm trying to get a darker theme on my backgrounds so that it doesn't wash out the screen so much over here.
Yeah, I keep noticing your light changing. I assume you're doing something over there.
I got it. I think I finally got it. I think now it's where it needs to be. It's not blinding me because I got the Skype running over here and then the Facebook running, and then usually I have an agenda over here, but we shifted gears at the last moment for this week.
Well, we were gonna have a guest who ditched us at the last minute. And he's watching the show right now, so I hope he feels really guilty about ditching his good friends. I won't mention his name, but his name is up on the screen right now. No, I'm joking.
I won't mention his name.
We were gonna have Stevie Evans on, but look, he's getting over being sick. Plus, he's watching his kids right now, so we gave him a pass on this one. And believe me, I have 2 small kids. I totally understand. And we will have Stevie on again in the future because he's got some cool news that he wants to share with us. David, that cocktail looks amazing.
Is it that he makes an excellent smoked old-fashioned?
Stevie Evans, I know you're watching. Do you make a good, excellent smoked old-fashioned? If you do, let us know.
That is powerful.
Well, you pour a hefty pour to begin with, and that I think got away from you. Even that one got away from you, I think.
Yeah, that'd be fine. 2 of these in, we're going to be talking about all kinds of business later. this person's business, that person's business.
I believe it. And Stevie says, yes, he does make a good smoked old fashioned.
Good. That's good. Oh, it's good. I love. We stumbled across these glasses. I had to get them. So
yeah, that's cool.
Oh man. Oh, it's good. It's just with that smoke as you're drinking it, and that just a touch of the citrus, the orange in the background makes it.
That's all you need.
Oh,
just a little bit.
That's it. So that's that.
Yep. So,
all right, I'm done for the night. I'm going to drink this right here and listen to you talk. We all know that's not the truth.
So, David, how often do you think people want to get a raise, but they don't really know how to? So I found this article on LinkedIn News that talks about an unconventional way to get a raise. And I want to hear your opinion on this. So let's see.
I'm glad you found this article on LinkedIn, I guess.
Well,
not OnlyFans.
I think if you use this tactic, you might need you might need to be on LinkedIn. So let's see how it works out. Let's see.
I've actually started dusting off my OnlyFans.
Dave's working on his OnlyFans page.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Wait, back up. That's not an appropriate thing to say there. No. LinkedIn. I've actually dusted off my LinkedIn account and started trying to get it brought back up to snuff because, it's always good to have, options.
And you should. Everybody out there, no matter how happy you are with your job, you need to keep your LinkedIn up to date. You need to be on there regularly. Keep your network healthy because I'm telling you, you never know when you're going to need it, especially in these times, right? How often now are we seeing giant companies letting off 1,000 people here, 1,000 people there? I mean, just constantly, nonstop. Yeah,
right now there's major cash flow issues in the world, especially in manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing a huge issue with cash flow, because they're stocking a huge inventory of components, but missing a key component to build widget A or widget B or widget C.
Right.
So they've got a lot of manufacturing has a lot of cash tied up. We are not in a good spot right now, worldwide.
And there's one thing
concerning.
There's one thing I do want to explain though. So I keep seeing online people complaining about these companies who have these massive layoffs, even though they have these record high profits. Here's what people need to understand though. Is some companies do have record high profits right now because they've been doing really well, and the economy for a long time now has been pretty darn good. However, just like oil, companies look at futures. They know there's a dip coming. It's inevitable. It's going to come, and they're planning for that. So you actually want to work for a company that plans for the future, not is reactionary based on what's happening right now. So I don't fault these companies for having these layoffs, even though profits are up. I mean, it's math. It's what you need to do to stay in business long term.
The key word on all of it will be margin. What's the margin?
Exactly.
And that's what you have to protect. And when you go into business and you talk about, I talked with some people who they were kind of their own business. They ran their own businesses, small service type businesses. And, I'm talking about my customer accounts receivable log going back my 30, 60, 90, and 120 days. So once you get past 120 days, then your collections and all that fun jazz. But, my 30, 60, and they're like, I'm not waiting 30 days to get paid. Like, so
right.
You have no backlog. Like, if I get done with the job, I want the money.
Right. So
if something happens, you have 30 days.
Yeah.
So you have to be the one stockpiling. No, I like it, but there's a point where it becomes damaging, and the same thing with backlog and product and things of that nature too. So we're really on the cusp of something that could go.
I think the phrase you're looking for is "tits up," is what they say in jolly old England.
Jolly old. Well, that could. I'm not even going to try to do an English accent.
Don't do it.
Go tits up. I like it. It's fun.
Right.
So tell me about these unconventional ways.
Well, there's one that they talk about here specifically. So I'll paraphrase now, since we've been going on for a while. Basically, what it's saying is
we got time. We have nothing else to talk about tonight. So fire away, man.
Oh, I have a whole thing. I got a whole thing planned. Don't you worry. It's gonna be fun. So
I'll put out a spread. It'll be nice.
I got a whole thing. So basically what they're saying is you should start taking offers from other companies and use that as leverage with your boss to get a raise. And I'm not sure I totally agree. In fact, there's a comment down here saying that it could probably cause distrust between you and your boss, which, look, I have a feeling there are, in fact, I've known quite a few people in management who, if you tried a tactic like that, they would say, well, good luck with your future endeavors.
I am absolutely, as a guy who, if somebody would have brought that to me and gone, I want to raise because I want to go somewhere else for more money, congratulations.
Yeah, good luck to you. Let me know how that
just
goes.
come to me, or just come to me and say you want to raise.
Right, exactly.
Let's take a look at the current market. Does the current market justify a specific raise to a person? So here we go. Tangent Dave on the loose here. So I was talking with people the other day, and they said, "Hey, blah 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 blah," and you know that XYZ, these people who came in after us, and don't have near the experience, and all these things they were lined out. You said, they make more money than we do, right? And they're based. Blah, blah, blah. Like, well, wait a minute, slow down, slow down. That is market. That is the market. That is the market. And if I had accepted my position just 3 months different, my deal would have been structured much differently.
Right.
So I don't blame. Hi there. All right, we're back.
What's wrong?
So what did we learn? Okay, I gave you guys a tutorial on smoked old fashions a little bit ago. Now it's time for the quiz.
Okay, quiz time.
What did you do in school today?
Me or Catherine?
Locke, you go first.
Okay. I had lots of fun.
Yeah?
Only 2 classes went out for second recess. One of them was my class.
You get to go out for second recess?
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I didn't get second recess.
Well, you've already
today.
had 1 recess, but what about second recess?
Exactly. Hey, Catherine, how was your school day?
How many recesses did you have, Catherine?
How many recesses do you get?
1.
She gets 1. She only goes half day right now.
Oh, she was half a day and gets a recess?
Yeah, you're in kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in kindergarten, so she only gets 1 recess, but she goes half day.
I like that. Dad's like, you're in kindergarten, right? Yeah, kindergarten.
You're one of those with the school and the teachers and stuff.
Yeah, I knew the building to go to the other day. I had to pick my daughter up, and I walk in and I'm like, I tell her who I'm picking up, and it's ask what grade she's in. I'm looking at the paper like, she's in this school.
She's in this grade.
Catherine, she's in whatever grades. She's in one of the grades to go to the school.
Kitty.
Oh, she made a hamster kitty. That's a really nice hamster kitty.
And
it's definitely the coolest hamster kitty I've ever seen.
And they usually don't put crowns on.
Oh, it has a crown? Is it a
So this is the king of the hamster kitties.
It's the queen of the hamster kitties.
Oh, the queen. The
of
queen.
Course. David, get it straight.
It's riding up inside.
I should have known by the eyelashes.
It's adorable, Catherine. Locke, what did you play at recess today?
Football? Did you learn how to break down tackle?
You have no idea. There's only a soccer field.
He can't play football.
No. That's a football field.
Well, in
soccer.
Europe it's football. In America it's called soccer. David, get
No. We don't do anything with a round ball anymore. It's gone. That's gone. What?
My son is taking up smoking pipes.
Yes. So here we go. I'll toast to you with a smoked old fashioned Cheerio old chap as he's puffing on a Gandalf pipe over there.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my daughter has a pipe too.
And also
Oh wait. There we go.
David has his too. There you go. Good job. Looking good, guys.
And at recess I played Huggy Wuggy Creatures versus Humans.
Huggy Wuggy Creatures versus Humans.
Yeah.
Huggy.
I don't know how I can't take you serious anymore.
Exactly. All right, you guys.
Huggy Wuggy Creatures versus Humans.
Huggy Wuggy.
Love it.
You'll have to Google Huggy Wuggy to find out what that is.
I am absolutely not doing that.
Just type in monster.
He's a type of monster. It's a monster thing.
Okay. The Amblia Pidgeot.
Oh, what did you just drop? Was that one of my things?
Yes.
Oh, be careful of that hamster kitty. It's delicate.
It's precious.
Oh,
it's a one of a kind.
Oh,
that's the
okay.
finest. That's the finest hamster kitty you're going to find.
She's a true.
Find this side of the north, or this north of the Mason-Dixon line.
She's a true artist, is what it is. She's an artiste.
Indeed.
So, David, we often talk. So here's first of all, let's finish your thoughts about that way to get a raise. I think that's a fine way to get a raise.
Bring me a counter offer. Don't bring me a letter from another company and try to negotiate a raise, because I'm just going to be like, all right, well, I'm going to take that as your resignation,
right?
And peace, you're gone.
Yeah.
Out.
So,
And that's you quitting, not me firing you or doing anything. So I am bound by nothing. There's no unemployment. There's absolutely zero, zero, zilch. You're done right that moment. I'm going to have you escorted out of property. That's it. Goodbye.
I probably
I'm
wouldn't
going
go
to
that
walk you
far.
out.
I would probably just say good luck with your future endeavors.
Nope. Walking you out.
So you're saying that would break your trust a little bit if somebody tried that with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
That's me. Now, I can also see, because I'm a little different, I want people talking to me. I want to have honest and open conversations with people versus some people that are like, well, the policy says this and this is what we do, and they follow the dotted line only. Those people I tend to fire as well. I do not like having people in positions that cannot think outside of the policy book. It taxes me. I deal with a lot of them right now. And, I'm thinking about buying a brick that I can just hit my head with every time, because I know it's about the same as trying to talk to these people and explain to them why they need to do X, Y, Z that may not necessarily be part of the policy.
So you're trying to say you would not be a good candidate for HR, a position in HR?
No. So it's key. You and I have been through this before. It's good to know your strengths. It really is, but it's also very important to know your limitations. And for me, when I played the role of secretary once, and that
you did
is
a fine
that's
job.
not a role.
You were a great secretary.
That is just that's not a role for me. I am too much of the thinker and what's the saying? I love it. I love the saying, if I'm working, that means I'm not doing my job. So, and that was about working. No, I'd much rather do my job than somebody else's job. When I could put somebody in position to do that, that's where I'd rather have them.
There you go. Well, David, I think you're a fine secretary. You did a great job.
That's fine, Cheerios, fine.
So, what are your thoughts on passive income, David? You think it's just that easy? So there's people all the time trying to say, and this goes back to, infomercials in like the 70s. People were trying to sell you things on TV buy their system, buy their their VHS tapes where they explain their whole thing, or buy this book that explains this process to make $1 million while you just sit on the beach and do nothing.
Yeah. So I had a couple one times. I don't want to say the word elderly because they weren't really elderly, but they were an older company or older couple, mid 60s, late 60s maybe. And we're just walking by, literally at Tuttle Mall, back before Tuttle Mall went to absolute pot, and so we're walking through there, and this lady, this got her husband, we're walking. I had my son with me and everything. And they start talking to me. I'm like, and if you start talking to me, I ain't backing down.
Oh, I know.
Don't play chicken. Don't play conversational chicken with me.
Oh, I know. Believe me.
So we ended up talking, and they started going on and on about this, that, and the other. She's talking about saying, "Oh, honey, did you click the button, or did I click the button? Did I click the button?" She's like, "All you got to do is click this button," and it's about buying products and selling. It was a pyramid scheme.
Right.
Through and through, and I'm listening to him. I'm like, that's great. It's really it's how. So what happens when nobody buys your product?
Yep.
Well, what happens if a lot of people buy your product but you don't sign anybody else up? So all businesses are structured in a pyramid. So that's kind of how it's supposed to be. But when there's no way to actually turn a revenue. So these people are sitting there going on and on and on. So it's just the idea of a passive income has been around for a while. And we've talked about it a couple times on the shows to where, I just flat out call bullshit. There's no such thing as passive freaking income. It doesn't exist. If you want income, you have to work at it. I see kids all the time talk about, YouTube famous or Facebook famous or Insta famous or what's the only one? OnlyFans famous, whatever.
OnlyFans famous. That's my plan. That's my retirement plan right there.
Yeah.
OnlyFans famous.
That's still work. That's a lot of work. You want to put the work in to get a $1 million YouTube channel? Jiminy Christmas. You would have probably been better off bumming on the streets. It would have taken you less time to get to $1 million. If you put the same amount of time into bumming on the streets as you do have to get a $1 million YouTube channel, I think you're going to get to $1 million faster on the street.
Okay.
It's a lot of work. It looks the result that you see, that 1 minute, 15-minute clip that you see is a result of hours and days of work behind the scenes.
It's a lot of work. Every single one of the, especially YouTube, every single one of those big YouTubers has a staff of people doing writing, editing, motion graphics, all that fun stuff, all the technical stuff.
There's a lot going on there. And, one of my favorite ones is Cletus McFarland. I'm being a car guy.
Right.
And, I love his channel. I love watching it. But even on him, you can watch him and he'll talk to you about. So he owns a lot of things now. He's diversified pretty well.
And you should.
To support. Exactly.
But if you're doing passive income, you need to diversify. But go ahead.
Yeah. So, he's talking about a live event that he was holding. And he straight up admitted, he's been so busy doing blah, 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 blah. They hadn't been promoting that. So they held a lot of tickets left over for this specific event, and that he had to try to overdrive, focus on it. So it is, the bottom line is there's no such thing as passive income. It doesn't exist.
Well, David,
you're going to work for it.
Well, David, I found this article. Now on CNBC.
Yeah.
Which, CNBC, it's a legitimate news outlet. And here's the headline. This 28-year-old built a side hustle that brings $30,000 a month. And he says, I only have to work 6 hours a week. And he actually lays out the whole thing. We'll go through the whole thing here that he lays out. And at the end of this, here's what we'll do. I actually broke down the math of all the different things he's doing. So we can actually see how much he's spending and how much he's making. And how you can do exactly the same thing, David. It's that easy. 6 hours. Would you like to make $30,000 a month for 6 hours of work?
Yes.
Exactly.
The answer, in case you guys didn't know, Elon Musk answered that question yes as well.
Right.
If he can only put in 6 hours. Okay, all right. I need to do the math here real quick.
David, look.
I got to do the math.
Think. That's 6 hours. 6 hours a week he works. Okay. Now imagine. If he upped that to 12 hours every single day, he'd be rolling in the money.
Okay,
but he doesn't want to make that much money.
It's 24.
He doesn't want to make that much money. He's very humble. This guy.
Divided by 24. That's $1,250 an hour times a standard work week would be $50,000 a week. No, let's go back. What's my history? I need 1250. Clear back. Oh, not that back. 1250 times 2080. That's $2.6 million a year.
Right. I mean, you'd be silly. Not to take him up on this, David. You'd be silly not to. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run through.
Elon Musk makes more than that in an hour in interest. So no, he wouldn't. He's no longer saying yes to this.
Right. So basically, to get Elon Musk money, you need to found PayPal. But
you need to sell 3 companies. And then found PayPal, and then sell PayPal, and then found. I was listening. Not to take you off track, but I was listening to him talk the other day. Somebody's talking about how overvalued the stock for Tesla is, and he's sitting there going, "Yes, I don't have to convince people to buy stock in Tesla. I tell them it's overvalued. People put too much value. I mean, he's very open about that. So
he is.
It was a good. I don't remember what sitting it was, but
he'll tell you straight up, and that's. But
people just keep dumping into it.
That's one of the reasons people trust him, though.
Yeah,
he'll whether you want to hear it or not, he'll tell you.
All right, show me the math. Show me the math.
Okay, so here's the thing. We'll start with the little caption under the photo here. Quinn Miller started a vending machine business as a side hustle in 2020. Now he has 57 machines that bring him $30,000 a month in revenue. So
7 machines.
That's amazing. So look, we're going to run through this. So we're going to show you just how easy it is. So before the pandemic, I worked at an ad tech startup in California and made $240,000 a year, including sales commissions, which I would say that's
go work for them.
That's a pretty good income. I'd like to know the name of this company, and maybe they're hiring.
Yeah.
But as the country went
in New York,
but as the country went into lockdown in March 2020, so did many of my retail.
This needs more bourbon.
There you go. So did many of my retail, restaurant, and entertainment clients. Even after putting in long hours, I struggled to meet my sales quota. Well, it sounds like you need more passive income. Let's see. That spring, I read on Twitter, so a great source of information, about someone making passive income by placing vending machines in office buildings. It immediately piqued my interest. So in June and July, I purchased. So here's the thing. Remember these numbers and these dates, and you don't have to if you don't want to. We'll go over this in just a minute because I documented all this stuff. In June and July, I purchased 2 vending machines for $5,000 to get a side hustle going. Things were slow at first, but it was hopeful that I could scale the business. I quit my day job that summer to focus all my time and energy into it. I'm glad I took the risk. Today I have 57 vending machines scattered across my hometown that bring an average of $30,000 a month in revenue. That's pretty amazing. Over the last 2 years, I've spent about $160,000 on machines. So that's an investment right there. But I have positive cash flow and no debt. We'll go through that in just a minute too. I only have to work 6 hours a week on vending machine.
I'm gonna call bullshit right there.
I only have to work 6 hours.
Haven't seen any more data. I'm calling bullshit right there. You have 57 machines. You're working 6 hours. That's a grand total of 360 minutes a week, which gives you a maximum of 6.3 or 6.5 minutes at each vending machine.
Yeah. He loads them very fast. He loads them very fast. Okay.
I've seen these people do that. Bullshit.
Let's see. I can spend the rest of my time on other projects, like my online coaching business. Ding.
Like his driving site to site and the rest of the time that it takes him to do this job.
Well, that's
his other side project.
Remember, he has an online coaching business. So for just a small fee, you can learn exactly how he does this whole thing. And we'll explain.
If he doesn't have that, he's an idiot.
Here's my 5-step process for how to get started in the vending machine business.
Oh.
Number 1, land a busy location. For my first location, I called a friend, yada, yada, yada. His first machine only made about $181 in the first 3 months. Second machine brought in about $1,200 in the first month. Okay.
So 3 months in, you've almost made a mortgage payment. Nice.
Right. So it just goes on. The rest of this first point talks about how he goes and he went through this location finder, did a lot of cold calling, trying to find good locations for his vending machines. It all makes sense. It's kind of common sense stuff. So you want to find good locations, heavy traffic areas for your vending machines. That makes sense. Well, now here's an important part that gets into.
If you need to be told that, this is not the business for you.
Maybe you shouldn't be in your starting your own business.
This is not the business for you.
Let's see. So here's the thing.
You need to be working for the IRS. You're told what to do.
One vending machine business owner, for example, has 21 locations, but only pays about 15% in monthly profits. So we're going to remember this also. When you place these vending machines, you need to give a percentage of your profits over to those locations. So we're going to keep the 15% as an average. Okay, we're going to say this is an average. This is probably lowballing compared to what a lot of places want, but we'll keep this since he mentions it. We're going to use all of his numbers to show what he's actually making annually. Okay. Number 2 is buy quality machines. So he bought his first machine on Craigslist for about $1,000. He says that was a mistake. What you want to do is find a good machine from a proper vendor and a vending machine vendor. And on average, it's going to cost you up to about $4,000. We're going to go through his costs, and we're going to show you he did not spend that. He spent closer to about $2,500 per machine. So I'll show you how he did that math as well. Basically, don't cheap out on your machines. Get some nice machines.
So just to interrupt you here.
Okay.
You really got to nerd out on this today, didn't you?
I love spreadsheets is what I'm trying to say. I like
I can tell, man, he's getting giddy. He's like, we're going to use his numbers. We're going to do this. I'm like, somebody had a good afternoon.
Well, so
playing in Google Docs.
so Stevie ditched us today. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to spend a couple hours and have some fun in between emergency runs at the office. So he recommends just getting good machines. Don't skip on your machines. On average, he spent about $2,500 per machine, but you can spend upwards of about $4,000 depending on what you get. Number 3, which I also agree with. Again, a lot of his points are common sense points. Very good advice here if you go into this business. buy credit card reader. So,
yes.
I mean, just common sense. Most people don't carry change anymore, and a lot of people don't even have cash. Make sure your vending machine.
It's really shocking up here with me. When I left Central Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
Central Ohio, you walk in, you swipe your card, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Over here, swipe your card, you're done. You go to the gas station, you swipe your card, you're done. The price up there, it doesn't change. I live in New York now, and everything, when you go to check out, that price and all the stuff you've been seeing and shopping, everything will say, oh, the prices you're out there seeing reflects a 4 or 5% discount.
Yeah.
On this. I was at the gas pump and I'm sitting there and it's 10 cents a gallon difference.
Yeah,
for
I believe it.
Credit card use versus non-credit card use. And I'm like, wow, that's quite a whack.
Yeah.
That is quite a whack. So, and I go to a lot of places. I usually try to keep cash on me because I drive a lot of places, sometimes like in New Hampshire or Vermont somewhere, or even in the Northlands of upstate New York. I'll get places they just don't accept credit cards.
Right. Yeah, and it's weird because I don't carry cash anymore, and I certainly don't have coins.
Yeah. Usually, they get my business for a very short, limited amount of time for the minimum that I have to have, and then I move on with life.
Right. Exactly. You got company?
What is this? Old neighbor. Oh, more returns. Okay, I'll let her know. So. Check this out. So Best Buy, because I know the CEO of Best Buy is watching tonight.
Of course.
The old lady, the people who used to have the house before me, they put an order in for Best Buy. Part of the order got shipped to their new house, and part of the order got shipped to my house.
Oh man, that's annoying.
How they came up with that, I have no idea. But we just got another thing from them, so that needed to be relayed to me immediately.
That's hilarious.
It was Breaking news. Random mail just showed up.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, back to the studio. Credit card machines. You got to have credit cards. There's no reason. If you run a business, you need to be accepting credit card. When I go to places and they go, well, we don't accept credit card. Like, yeah, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, Cash App. Any of these things ring a bell?
Right.
No.
Exactly.
Cash only.
So you need a vending machine. You need a vending machine with a credit card reader. The credit card reader is going to cost you, he says, about $4.99. I think that's lowballing a little bit, but again, we're going to go by his numbers. I also did a little bit of research on something he doesn't mention here, which is they also take a percentage of your profits. On average, they're going to take between 1.5 to 3%. So I met him a little bit in the middle and still lowballing, trying to keep things affordable for you. So in the calculations I show you in just a minute, I went with 1.75% in of the take for this credit card reader. So remember that for the near future. Point number 4 is pay someone to move the machines to your location, which, I mean, that's kind of a mundane point, but I guess it makes sense because you are
having your mother-in-law strapped into her back and hoof them down the road. I mean,
right?
What's the alternative?
I think he was looking for a space filler here, but yeah, you should probably have someone else move your machine for you. Don't put it in the back of your pickup truck and try and roll it to your location. You might have some problems, and that's going to cost you between $100 and $150 per machine.
I think he's definitely running low on that number too.
Yeah, exactly. He totally is. You ever try and get a mover?
Yeah. Have you ever tried to move a single thing? And a heavy thing at that. I mean,
oh yeah.
I'm gonna go. He's $100 low to half.
Right.
So he's either 100. He's $100 to $150 low on that. So he's either 88.3% or 100% off.
Right.
On the pricing on that. Exactly. But for this scenario, we're going to use his numbers.
For this scenario, we're going to use his numbers. And point number 5 is buy products from wholesale stores. So
where the hell else you going to get it? 7-Eleven? Really? Yeah, this guy's just a gem. This guy's
you want to go to the local
priceless.
You want to go to the local Kroger and
go to the freaking Piggly Wiggly.
Right.
Grab yourself some croutons, throw them in the machine, you'll be fine.
Right, exactly. They're going to have all that stuff there for you. So
Sam's Club. He's got to hear Sam's Club takes the crown.
Right. So when you own your own vending machines, go to Sam's Club. That's very good advice.
You know what? I got the number of a lady in Florida who is actually a food broker.
Yeah.
Who would take the crown. So if
Well,
any of you guys actually want to do, if any of you guys are out there going, you know what, this is, you know what, I want to do this. Please, for the dear love of all things holy,
don't buy your soda at Sam's Club.
Don't follow these steps. Call us. There's actually some decent information in here, but there are some things that you could actually make this guy look like an amateur, because he is an amateur, and amateurs don't win opens.
Well, so there's some other.
What movie was that from? That's a movie quote.
The way you said amateur should
amateur.
Should
Amateurs don't win opens.
I don't know this.
The greatest game ever played.
Okay. Yeah. You think I should know that, but I don't.
He's like, nah, sports ball.
Yeah, I don't go team. I don't know this thing. So there's some other costs in here that he doesn't really add into his math, but we did. So,
okay.
And I did some homework to account for this. So he says I have a 2,000 square foot warehouse. We're Pepsi and wholesale suppliers, so he doesn't go through Sam's Club, even though he says to. Drop off his stuff. He also mentions that he has 2 part-time employees that stack the stuff in his 2,000 square foot warehouse.
Are these 1099 employees, or are they actually payroll employees?
He says part-time. He says 2 part-time employees.
Okay, but still, I mean, you can 1099 a part-time staffer. It just means when they're working, you're paying them a flat pay, and you're not covering Social Security benefits and all the tax benefits or the tax payroll or the payroll taxes that you would have to normally cover.
David.
Okay.
David, what you don't understand here.
What you don't understand is this guy's an idiot. Okay, all right, got it.
What you don't understand is this guy only works 6 hours a week. He's not putting
6 hours a week.
He's not putting in a lot of overhead time here, David.
I'm only working 6 hours a week, and that's for tax evasion purposes.
He's only working 6 hours a week because he has 2 part-time employees to do the work for him, David. All right. Now he's
like the CEO. That's like the CEO of Macy's going, I only work 3 hours a week. He's got 75,000 employees.
He falls into he listened to your philosophy and said, if I'm
working, I'm not doing my job. Good man.
Exactly. Now you get it.
I'm for that.
David, you were made for passive income.
David,
yes, you're defining passive income right now.
Oh, yes.
And
yes,
he also says, depending on your product mix, it can cost you anywhere from $250 to $1,000 to fill a machine. My first machine cost $250. So when I do the math, I calculated, I split the difference. I said $500 to fill a machine, because you probably don't want to fill it with garbage. You want to fill it with something okay, but you don't want to fill it with $1,000 worth of merchandise. And we can change the math to show you what that would look like too. Let's see. When deciding what to sell, start with a popular and recognizable brand.
Did he have ding dongs in his machine?
This guy does not have a ding dong to his name. All right. When deciding what to sell, start with a popular and recognizable brand. So again, you probably don't want to be filling it with the $250. You at least want to go with the $500. That's why I use that.
You're want a couple loss leaders on it. Yeah.
Right. Test what sells and what doesn't. Aim for items that will give you a profit margin of between 50 and 70%, which I totally agree.
Okay. I'm with you on that. But I'll go here. Test what sells and what doesn't. Sounds to me like you could be doing some avatar research here about the different locations of that specific machine is going into.
Absolutely. Look, if you're in the
all right, we hadn't said avatar yet. I had to get it in.
If you're in the Midwest, you're going to have a lot of Mountain Dew. Oop. If you're in a slightly better part of town, you're going to have some Pellegrino or some La Croix.
La Croix. I love there was a one of the memes on the Books of Faces, right? That says La Croix. It's as if you're drinking seltzer water and then somebody yells the name of a fruit from the other room.
Yeah, my current wife says it tastes like sweaty water. So
yeah, you know what? I agree with hashtag current wife. I am not a seltzer water fan. I'm not a seltzer beer fan. I think you keep all that stuff. To me, it was like, all right, if I'm going to have it, if I'm going to have the quarine or whatever the hell it's in most of those things, go ahead and throw some sugar in there for me and some caramel color number 2 and make it a Coke.
Exactly. You know what? Add some cheap whiskey or some rum to that. Make it a good drink. All right. He finishes up
we might be onto something then.
He finishes up by saying, I love being a vending machine business owner. My biggest problem is when the coin slot gets jammed, but I won't trade that for the stress of my previous 9-to-5 job. I would say it's probably also a good thing he sells a business consulting thing on the side. What did he call it? He called it a let's see.
Scroll down.
Here it is. Online coaching business. Online coaching business.
Online.
So
coaching.
it's a good thing he is also an online coach because
we're online coaches too.
I don't think he would make a ton of money as a math teacher.
Oh, are we getting to the math?
Oh, we're getting to the math.
All right.
We're getting to the math here. And this is it sounds nerdy. This is the fun part.
This is guys, yes, we're nerds. We get it.
Look,
you don't have to tell us.
Come on. If they're watching the show this long, they know.
Yeah, they should actually.
All right. So, like I said, I love a spreadsheet.
All right, let's zoom that spreadsheet up.
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom this up in a little bit here.
That's an island. Which is where this guy's going to be, on an island.
Oh, you don't see it? Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, I was showing his private island he bought with vending machine money.
Oh, yes.
That's what that was.
Yes. It's very habitable. Very habitable. All right.
Alrighty. Okay. So here's what we're doing. So what I did is I calculated his annual P&Ls, profits and losses, and I annualized that. So here's what he's making annually his first year, his second year, and then I hid these next two columns that show what you can do with, let's say you buy 2 vending machines. So after we run through his numbers, we will run through your numbers about how you can do this with a couple vending machines of your own if you want to start this business, because it sounds great. Look, this guy is making $30,000 per month, okay? And what that breaks down to is with his 57 machines, he is pulling in about $526 per machine. So annually, that's $360,000 this guy is making. That's some good bank. David, $360,000. Tell me that's not good. That's amazing.
I mean, I'm not going to turn it down.
Right, exactly.
But that's $360,000. Now, let's look at this as a salary. Because, A, we know this guy's not working just 6 hours a week.
Well, that's what he says. Yeah, we got to go by his math.
Okay. All right, we're going to use his math. Let's go. Fire it up here.
Okay.
Fire it up.
He's making $360,000 a year because he's pulling down $30,000 a month from his 57 machines. On average, his machines pull down about $526 per month each. So let's see. 57 machines over 2 years. The cost of his 57 machines that he bought over 2 years, he said, was about $160,000. That's why the first year I have this, and the second year I don't have anything, because assuming his second year he didn't buy any new machines. Let's just make that assumption.
Yeah, make the assumption. Okay. All else being equal. Got it.
Right. Now, next we have the machine moving cost, which again I only have here for the first column, not for the second. $5,700. Okay, so that's added here to the bottom line. Let's see. Next is the cost of product. Okay, so
how did you derive at $300 per month cost of product? Because his profit margin was what, 50 to 75%?
Well, he said his cost to fill a machine was between $250 to $1,000. Okay. I still think that's lowballing, but going by his math, let's say he doesn't want the cheapest stuff. Let's say he wants to up it a little bit. Instead of $250, we said $300 per machine.
Okay. I would look at this and go, we could extrapolate out from the $30,000 per month at $526.31. At the margin was 50 to 75% of the profit margin. It was the margin he had built in. Okay. Let's say we go average on that around 62.5, and that would give us a number that we could say that's what he costs, on average per machine. So we could really Nat's ass this, but I think it's going to be pretty close to $300.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's going to be pretty close. I just wanted to see how far down the rabbit hole you went.
I could have gone that far, but I didn't want to spend that much time. I actually had some real work I had to do today.
Yeah, me too.
But if we wanted to raise this,
jobs get in our way.
We can always change the calculation if we decide we want to play with these numbers.
If we start a vending machine business, we'll have more time to do weird shit like this.
Exactly. We can do all kinds of weird shit with all the free time because we're only working 6 hours a week. Okay, so if he's filling each, let's say hypothetically he's filling each one of those machines. If his machines are maxing out at $562 per month, he's refilling each machine. Let's say for $300 per machine per month. That breaks down to $205,000 a year he's spending on product for these machines. $205,000. That's the biggest.
Now, if we delete $360,000,
well, so I hit the total here. So I'll show the total here in a minute.
Yeah,
I hit the total. So let's just assume he's at his word. He's spending $200,000 on product in these machines. That's the biggest cost so far. But next we have his 2,000 square foot warehouse. I did do some homework, and you can get warehouse space. What they do is they charge per square foot per year. Okay. Now in Ohio, if you're looking for something relatively inexpensive, you can find something for as low as $7 per square foot per year. It's probably not going to be super great. It's not going to be in a great neighborhood, but it does exist.
Well, no, $7 a square foot. That's actually not the worst, but warehouse space right now is one of the most in demand forms of commercial real estate there is.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you hypothetically, realistically put warehouse space per square foot?
$1,250.
$1,250. You know what? That's actually pretty close to what I saw when I was doing research. I did see a couple hovering around seven something. So I decided maybe he's in a really crappy part of town. He doesn't care.
Yeah, you don't need anything fancy.
You
don't need anything fancy. So if you can get it for $750,
right,
take it for $750.
Right. So at $7 per square foot per year, he's spending $14,000 annually on his 2,000 square foot warehouse. Okay. So we got that. Now, let's say
$219,000 there.
So let's say he has his 2 part-time employees. Now, Ohio minimum wage, if he were functioning in Ohio minimum wage is $9.30 per hour. Now, let's say his employees are they're part-time. And let's lowball this. Let's be as lowball realistic as we can. Let's say each one of his employees is only working 5 hours a week. Because why not? He only works 6. He's the boss, right? So that breaks down to 10 hours per week. Annually, that breaks down to $4,836 annually. I have a feeling if you actually have employees, they're working more than that and charging you more than that. But we're going to try and be realistic here. For his sake, we're trying to help this man.
And now that's only talking about their base wage. Again,
right.
we don't know whether these guys are, and we're assuming he's just 1099 on them. So if 1099, we've got it wrapped up in this point. We don't have to worry about payroll taxes.
Right. Exactly. So
workers' compensation or any of that.
Right. Exactly. Now we get down into the credit card processing fees. Like I said, they can go up. They can be anywhere between 1.5 and 3% in annual fees. But we met him in the middle and we said 1.75. This is typically not negotiable. You pay what you pay. So this breaks down to $6,300 annually. So that's another thing that's being subtracted from his annual total. And then we have the location fee at 15%. I think that's lowballing it. I think realistically, a lot of places
that's being
are going to want
friendly.
At least 25%, but he said 15.
That's being friendly.
He said 15, and 15% of $360,000 is $54,000. He's paying to have his machines just sit there. Right? Okay. So we didn't even get into taxes, what he's paying in taxes. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the good news about business is you pay taxes based upon your profits, not your income. So.
Right. Exactly. So look, I didn't put anything.
I almost said something very political there. So moving on.
So I did. Thank you. So I didn't say anything about taxes, but I put question marks because we need to know it still exists. I also didn't put anything for miscellaneous costs and expenses. Think about breakage. Think about loss. Think about all the random thises and that's that pop up from time to time. Okay.
Yeah, you got to pay to get the product out there.
I mean,
gasoline,
all
vehicle
kinds
costs,
of random stuff. A case of product ends up missing off the back of a truck somewhere. It happens. I mean, unfortunately,
fell off the back of the truck.
Exactly. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna unhide this total. And we're going to see what he made his first year. He made a negative $90,000 his first year. Negative $90,000. He paid almost $100,000 to have his machines his first year.
Yep.
Now, we go his second year and say he no longer has the cost of the machines or the moving costs. He made, with all of his 6 hours a week of work, $75,000 a year. all of this,
and that's acceptable.
It's
I have
fine.
actually put business plans together that include a loss
Mhm.
over the course of 3 years.
Mhm.
You know, I look at a break average or the break even point
Right.
is usually 18 months. If I can break even on an investment at 18 months, I usually go, okay, well, it's something to at least investigate.
Right. And this is fine. It's fine. But again, considering his first year, he lost $90,000. He's still not even in the black yet, David, from his first year. Remember that.
Yeah.
So here's the
about
thing.
18 months.
Well,
about 18 months,
right.
We're making profit.
But again, you got to remember, this guy probably also has rent he needs to pay or a mortgage.
Oh yeah, he's got other things here.
I mean, he has other stuff he needs to pay for, so it's a good thing he has all that free time to work on other projects, as he says.
Yes, because you're not. It's I love it. So we've got these articles out there, and when you go to the website that looks like the IRS, it's not necessarily the IRS. When you see the what was this was a reputable website that this was on. This is a reputable site. Who was the host of the site?
Oh, the website I'm reading this on?
Yeah.
This was from CNBC.
CNBC. Okay, so we're not talking.
Yeah, this is a real site that's leading people to believe this guy's legitimately earning $30,000 of pure profit per month.
Yeah, and he can. Yeah, that brings in $30,000 a month. That's great. But that's. I'm not going to say it's half the story. It's not even half. It's not even close to half.
Not even close.
So we used his numbers and was generous in anywhere there was a variable.
Right, and a lot of these numbers are
a lot more generous than I would have been.
Yeah, these are very lowball numbers.
Yeah, you were a lot more generous. So if I'd have been running this numbers, it would have been more. Yeah, nobody. You can't go to McDonald's and get a job for under $15 an hour.
Right.
So at $9.30 an hour, 10 hours a week, nobody's taking that job. Okay, so you're not getting employees. And the employees, you're getting a high turnover. So are you 1099? If you're 1099, and people are going to have a problem with that because they're getting full amount of that money, but then they have to pay taxes out of it. Well, they're going to want an employee.
In addition, with employees, you get what you pay for. You're probably not going to get the most upstanding citizens for $9 an hour. But what I did is I decided, look, maybe somebody want to start out small. They want to start this business, and they say, you know what? I'm going to start out with 2 machines. I don't need 57 machines. I don't want to pay $160,000 for 57 machines. And as soon as I finish pouring this beer, I'll show you what those numbers look like. Okay, ready.
Is that another Oktoberfest?
It is.
Oh. God. So I almost came over this week. We almost did this show.
Oh, that would have been
live.
Cool. You totally should have.
At the Oofbrau's. We almost did it. But it just, time just fumbled because it's been one of those weeks.
Right.
And I would have loved to have it. So again, like I said earlier, the Hofbrauhaus in Columbus, and you know what, we can't really talk. So we're gonna take a moment to talk about our non-sponsors, Hofbrauhaus Columbus, and the amazing staff, the amazing service that we get when we go over there.
Yeah.
And if you're ever even remotely, if you have a chance, if it only takes you an hour out of your way, it is worth the freaking trip.
Right.
Now they treat us very, very well. We're very well known. They treat us very well.
But that's the thing.
Here's the crazy thing on. They're going to treat you very well. It's good. You're going to be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But the best thing to do is walk in and just tell them you know us. That's that really will set the tone. It's for your trip.
We're Hofbrau famous.
We're Hofbrau famous. Everybody else is Instagram famous. We're Hofbrau famous. There's some stuff I would love if we could talk to their leadership, the people who own the 3. There are some marketing things and stuff that we could do that would just overdrive that business. And I missed the time when they were open till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, because I could just sit down there at the end of the night when it's nice and kind of relatively calm and quiet, and you're just sitting there sipping on a beer, just taking it easy. Doesn't matter what it's doing outside. Just sipping. I mean, we don't walk out of there completely clattered. We just, I have a couple
not
times.
Always, not.
Yeah, I have a couple times, but go there and tell them that. I mean, literally, I'm not joking about this. Tell them that you know us, and actually don't tell them you know us, and just see how good a care they're going to take of you, how
It's
much
true. You're right.
you are absolutely going to love your experience.
Yeah, it's a great place. There's a reason we love that place.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason I kept going back and going back and going back. And I don't know who I was with, West. I don't know if it was you or somebody else. I was at lunch somewhere, and I met him a couple weeks later, and I went to lunch somewhere else, and I walked in, and when we left, they go, David, you are a freaking regular everywhere. How do you do this?
That might have been
live at the Hofbrauhaus. You live at the Hofbrau. How are you a regular everywhere? Well, because wherever I go, I have conversations, I meet and talk to people. So, and that's going to spin into the piece of advice that I have from tonight, because we've talked quite a bit about West and his vending machine tonight. Is we actually, I believe we talked about this last week. People don't buy from companies,
right?
People buy from people.
Yeah, and you see it in ads. That's the reason these big companies have spokespeople, or they'll have ads with the same character in every single thing, because they want to associate their brand with a personality.
Yes. They want you to buy from, you're not buying from HB Wilbur.
Right.
You're buying from Jane.
Right.
You're not buying from Old Navy. You're buying from those goofy, I don't know.
I hate
their commercials. I don't watch. I mean, their commercials are brutal, but they stick in your head.
They do that.
They live rent free, and you know what?
It works.
Isn't that the goal?
That is the goal. You're right. You're right.
So people buy from people, and that's back to the Hofbrau. That's when I walked in there, and I walk in, and Pablo comes out. He's one of the managers. He comes out, and it doesn't matter if he's in the kitchen, upstairs, out back on a patio. It doesn't matter. If I come in, he's going to make it a point to come over and say hi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they all do.
Talia, she's going to make it a point to come by. Brandon, I think Brandon left, unfortunately, but Brandon made it a point to come by and say hi.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these people come by. So we got one boy up there. He's got just an amazing handlebar mustache.
It's pretty great.
And he started skateboarding during the Global Plague Sniffles of Death. And I was following him and everything. And I, when I see him, I'm like, hey man, how you doing? And he shows me videos. And now it's to the point where he'll actually share to me videos before he posts them on Facebook and things and of that nature. So it's really cool to have. So I don't necessarily buy from Hofbrau. I buy from these people.
Right.
So
that's it.
That personalization. And when you talk with, let's say we're talking about Stevie Evans, right? We're talking about Big Bentley's Pet Supplies.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy a damn thing from Big Bentley's Pet Supply. I bought from Stevie.
Right. Yeah.
That's where I bought from.
I had almost the exact same conversation with Stevie today, talking about, once when he comes on, he's going to talk about some new initiatives he's working on. And I was saying, look, as soon as you finish these things and all this, structure you're building is set up, you need to really focus on really personal messaging on your social media platforms. They need to get to know you, not just your brand. So it's almost like, David, somebody needs to start an agency that focuses on the vice businesses, and I think it's somebody needs to do that.
Remarket Media. We're going to take this break for a sponsored event or a sponsored message from Remarket Media. Remarket Media. They are focused. I don't know who this we are.
I don't know who that is.
They're focused on helping a small to mid-sized company, big size if we have to, but small to mid-sized company, Vice brands and other build-up brands that need an extra care, plus doing it all without absolutely. No, we're not cheap. I'm sorry, they're not cheap.
They're not cheap,
but they're not there to break the bank either. They're going to put the time in and work with you and your sales team and help you develop not only a marketing or sales strategy, but a sales strategy and management structure to go behind it. Exactly. Everything you need.
Exactly. So that's a bit of a tangent.
They also offer consulting it. This is a commercial.
Oh, sorry.
Didn't you see the fade in and fade out?
We did.
No, that was just me. That was just me blacking in and blacking out.
It's all that big.
It's all fine. So yeah, you want to talk to them, and we're going to have this up and running soon. So I'm going to talk to one of the founders of the Remarket Media here very soon, and we'll do an interview with him and see, we'll go over their website and take a look and see what these guys are all about.
I like it.
Wait.
There you go. That's what it's all about.
Well, I concur.
I do concur. I do indeed. So,
Yes.
So, back to the passive income. Let's say you want to start with
income.
You'd say you want to start with 2 machines. Okay. Your first year using his numbers, which again I think are very lowballed. We didn't include the warehouse because assuming you're going to use your garage, let's hope you have a garage you can use as a warehouse.
Your garage or your dining room.
And with 2 machines, you probably don't need 2 employees, so we didn't count those as costs. Your first year, you're still losing $2,400, $2,500.
That's before you pay your taxes. Which is the good news is because you get to take a tax write-off if you're a LLC or a sole proprietorship. If you go to a sole proprietorship, come by and let me hit you in the knee with a baseball bat. You should never do that.
Exactly. So there's your taxes, there's your miscellaneous costs. We didn't include those either. Your second year, however, you are pulling in about $3,300. So is that worth a year's worth of work, or would you rather just
work?
I don't know. Look, whatever you're in, I'm not here to judge what you want to do, how you want to spend your money. Basically, what this is showing, though, is it goes back to the idea that these things are possible. That, first of all, this guy's spending way more than 6 hours per week. Way more. That's non-negotiable. But what this goes to show you, though, is to actually make money doing anything like this along these lines of what they might call passive income. 1, it is a lot more work than they say. 2, you make up for it on volume because you got to do a crap ton of business to make any money at all, right? Because again, this guy has 57 machines. He's making $30,000 a month.
Margin.
Yeah, $30,000 a month, and he's still only pulling down $75,000 before taxes. Okay, so now if
now he's taxed on that $75,000.
Right now,
plus he's got his miscellaneous costs. Miscellaneous. You love the hillbilly in me. The miscellaneous costs and expenses to go out of that as well.
Right, exactly. So I mean, you'd have to double or triple the number of vending machines that he has with these lowballed numbers to be pulling down anywhere near what he is saying that you can actually make, which is possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's a lot more than 6 hours per week. I promise you that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are ways, and I would actually love to run the numbers and work on this and crack it around and spend a meeting spitballing, a meeting refining, another meeting refining, and then a meeting rollout to show a profitable 18 months. Again, that's why I judge it by. If you can be profitable in 18 months, then you might have something. It's at least worthy to take a longer look. If I'm not going to make a profit for 5 years, 5 years is a long time. The market today is not the market in 5 years. I don't even want to talk about that. It's when you're talking about certain things, having those long-term plans and long-term goals are there. But when you're talking about whether we're going to have cash flow in 5 years,
right,
that's not the time frame that I need to be looking at cash flow.
Right.
I need to be looking at cash flow within 18 months.
Yeah, a lot of us have current wives and current kids who actually have current lives that need to be paid currently.
Yes, and current stomachs that need to be fed. So
I am a big believer. I'm a big believer in pouring everything you can back into the business. But it reaches a point to where it's just not feasible, frankly. And that's what happens with a lot of this passive, quote unquote, income.
Yes. Yeah. No. Just, again, I think nailed it on the head. I believe the technical business term I used was bullshit. This is in fact bullshit.
Yes.
We proved it by the numbers. The guy's numbers are his numbers are not real.
Right. So well, he might actually be doing this business. First of all, he's not making he didn't mention his actual profits. He just said $30,000 a month. He might actually be doing this, but it's only as a show, so he can sell his business coaching thing. Yeah, that's all he's doing.
So if you have to invest, what was the numbers on it? $3,000, $2,500, something like that. What was the numbers? What was his loss? So
$90,000 his first year.
$90K in that first year. Now that's assuming that he launched with all these, and he admitted that he didn't.
Well, no,
and you build it up over time,
right? And look, he's only been doing it for 2 years. He says, okay, so I could have split.
Okay, and he's got that. Okay, so we could have split.
I could have split the
part
57
of it in year 1, part in year 2.
So I did. I actually did that at first, and both years were very much in the red. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, I got to
So
show
we
making some kind of profit.
so we've consolidated down to a single red year and move on.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, that's
And even so, his second
man.
year, he's not even making up for his losses from the first year. So this is 24 months in. He'll have to be 3 years in before he's completely in the green.
Yeah. And his green is not that good.
His green is not that great. I mean, frankly, I don't want to. I mean,
his green at best is $90,000.
You can almost make that much money flipping burgers. I mean, almost.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just do it right now. So McDonald's is hiring at $15 an hour. Pornhub.com. There we go. At 15 point, I don't need the 0.0. So times 280. Okay, so you rock out at McDonald's at $31,200 a year.
Yeah,
30 grand.
Right, and that's
now, don't
an
be wrong,
entry
30 grand on
entry level job.
Dollars. Yeah, 30 grand at today's dollars is not the same as 30 grand was even 10 years ago. So there's a significant there's a significant amount of difference in that, but it's still a very entry level job.
Right, and if
skills required next to nil.
Right, and remember, he said he left his tech industry business
200.
He was making 240 plus commission. 240 plus commission.
240, that including his sales commission.
That's what I said.
So let's look at that. 2,400,000. Lots of zeros. Nope, there's too many zeros. Divided by it's divided by you, Jack Wang. That's basically he was rocking out with his commissions included $115.38 per hour.
Yeah,
is what he was looking at, and that's rocking a 40-hour a week work week.
Right.
So he was far better off. What he was doing. He was far better off as a ad tech startup in California.
Right, but he wouldn't be his own boss, David.
And you know what? If hold on a second, my son just texted me a picture of the blackened bourbon truck out in front of his office. So I'm going to tell him to go rob it.
Tell him to bring it home. Don't come home without it. That's hilarious.
Okay. All right. So I'm tempting my son into Grand Theft Auto.
Good game.
So I did hunt. Okay. So on a personal note, I have been hunting around for the Drew Estate. I think it's called the M81.
Okay.
The M81 is an all Maduro cigar made by Drew Estate.
Nice.
In collaboration with the Blackened label from Metallica.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now I found them.
Okay.
And I bought all of them that they had in the place, which was only like 4 cigars. And I had one there, and then I had 2 last night. I gave one away, and then I had one last night. So I have one left, and so I'm on the hunt for more.
Well, we have to know a couple of cigar shop owners. So we'll have to make some calls.
So we need to be doing that. Here in the near future, I think we're going to be doing some different things. We might have a
cigar-based fundraiser coming up where we can make some contacts that could get some things like that.
Yes, and that's going to be something that we're going to reach out to a lot of you guys out there on to help drive this and make it something pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
And we'll get more into the details on that. It's going to be something we're going to go warmer climb. We don't know exactly how big this can get. It could be something that's just a single tent worthy, or it could be something that's a whole municipal park worthy. So it's going to be.
I think it's going to be a pretty decent size if we get the people involved that we've been talking about. I think we can make it pretty decent.
Yeah, it could be pretty, and you know what, we haven't talked about them in a long time. So I know you got the screens ready to go. So go ahead and get that website pulled up, because I'm ready to talk about them again.
Totally.
Because we haven't talked about them enough, and I can't talk. I honestly can't prop these people up enough. I can't. I don't think it's possible. Cigars for Warriors. Cigars for Warriors is a group, a nonprofit here. And I know I spoke with the chairman of the board, or whatever title he has.
It's Frank Sinatra.
Big Chief are us. Cigars for Warriors. You can donate cigars. You can donate money, which will be converted to cigars and shipping, of course. And they ship all over the world to our servicemen and women across, all around the world, across the globe. Yes, all that redundancy in the Department of Redundancy, they do that. They take cigars and they get them out to the people who really enjoy them. And I'll tell you, if I were stationed, if I wasn't born half deaf, and I was, stationed around the world, having a nice cigar sent from somebody who took the time, not just I ordered it and had it shipped out to me. I can have whatever done that way. But somebody said, you know what? I want to send this cigar out because there's somebody out there fighting for our cause. They'll never know my name, but they're going to enjoy a little bit of comfort, a little bit of relaxation, because of this. And that would just be awesome. And I think it absolutely is awesome. I know we've got a couple of vets. I know Matt Harmon. He's a vet as well. I mean, he's Coast Guard, so we'll take that
if
for
you
what
count
it is. And we do.
Of course, I'm joking.
We do. So somebody's got to do whatever it is that they do. Got to free dolphins from 6-pack soda holders. So and then you got the Marines, and then there's the Sisters of the Marines that are the Navy. And
David, you're not helping us here. It's
so no. So they'd get it. That you won't get it, but they'll get it. There's just all these things out there that man, if there's anything we can do to support them, man, that's where it should be.
Exactly.
There's something that I could do to help, and if it's just getting a cigar out to you, God love you, I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Right.
So Cigars for Warriors, we're trying to get a fundraiser put together to drive awareness not only for their cause, but for all the people that help and support that as well. So here, and we're going to do it in the warmer climes, and we're going to do it over in Central Ohio. So look for that upcoming. We're going to make a big stink of it and get as many people involved in it as possible. So if you want to be part of the volunteer group, let us know. If you want to be part of literally the day of, let us know. And if you're just looking to make a donation of a cigar, a monetary donation, also let us know.
Yeah.
None of it will be processed through the Underdog journey. None of it will be processed through West or Dave. We're going to put you directly and straight in contact. So whatever you donate does the most good.
Right. Exactly. 0% of this comes to or through us at all. So
we don't want it. We don't want it.
Exactly. So Cigars for Warriors, that's gonna be a great fundraiser coming up in the new year.
I can wait, and I can't talk. I literally just cannot talk enough good about these people and about how amazing they are. And also, I'd like to say that I made the second double or triple version of my old fashioned, but what I did this time, instead of smoking it, I took the peel of the orange, whatever I had around here that counted as an orange. A cutie, I think, or clementine. I don't know what it is. But I toasted the rind with the torch. And I got to tell you, I don't know that I will ever smoke another one. The flavor that was given off from that was, don't get me wrong. Yes, I will smoke. I will smoke another old fashioned because they are good.
Okay.
It's good. But this is a different kind of good. That the burnt citrus
was good.
Was just amazing.
Nice.
Just amazing. I mean, I can't wait to get off the phone with
you should do
hacks and do another one.
You know what you should do is you should peel some of those little oranges, right? Dehydrate the peels and just keep it in a little jar so you can just pull it out, smoke it whenever you're ready.
Well, so you don't want to dehydrate too much because there's some oils in there that you actually want that are atomized labels, atomized particles. You could actually they'll flash flame, and they release a really good aroma when you do that.
Okay, well there you go.
Nerd.
You are a nerd. It's true. Well, look, I brought up a spreadsheet.
We all nerd out on certain things.
Yeah, exactly. You nerd out on citrus rinds, and I nerd out on spreadsheets. It's fine. It happens.
A good spreadsheet, something definitely to nerd out on, man. I mean,
next week is going to be algorithms, people. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I'm already planning right now to, because things are changing for us for my company on the first of the year. I'm thinking about changing a whole different set of stuff, and I'm like, hey, I can do this, and if I do this in a spreadsheet, I can do it here, and if I do this, I can build a graph, and I can do this, and it will tell me all the. I'm like, I can pull this, and I can pull all this data and put it all together in a single spreadsheet where I have actionable data at my fingertips every single week.
Yeah, go figure.
And I'm like, okay, so there's a little bit of manual work to that, but very little. Most of the stuff is done in the background for me. And I'm like, all right, if I pull this and pull this, and it worked out well. So on that note, so that I've been doing a people in the business, they call it the Dave's podcast, the Dave's the company I work for, podcast about updates. And I worked with 2 new people because there's some different changes and stuff coming down the pipe. And I worked 2 people today, and I'm showing them what I'm doing, and they're going, "Oh, that's really cool. I've never seen anybody do that." And then another person's like, "Oh, you're the guy."
Oh, that's you. Look.
Oh, that's you.
Your reputation precedes you, good or bad.
My reputation precedes me, Mr. Bond.
For better or for worse, they're like, "Oh,
indeed.
Oh, that's you."
So now that we're in the dredges of the show, last week I got to pull my phone out for this and look at my text message to West.
The dredges of the show. Okay, the dregs of the Underdog journey.
The dredges. West Chuck Carnahan. Here we go. The magician joke. That was hilarious. Let's see here. Okay, so one of my compatriots in crime. We was sitting here talking. I was talking about, hey, you could do this, that, and the other as far as a marketing campaign goes. Let's say we're at the Crafty Pint, the old Crafty Pint there on 161 in Columbus. And, if he was to do a tuxedo night where you had to literally be in a tuxedo in order to get into that night, so you could increase your margin and spend. And the guy goes, yeah, you dress the part, you drink the part.
You're right.
And so I'm giving him credit for that. The guy's name is Jay Covert. Dress the part, drink the part. So here I am. Now, we were doing a virtual happy hour at work.
Which means just drinking online.
We were just drinking online. And so here's the text message I sent Wes, because I did not want to lose this. You dress the B part, all one word, the B part. You drink the party.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to do something with that.
Wes goes, have you had a couple day drinks? That's LOL. What? Having a couple day drinks? That was his response.
Yep. Fair response. I wasn't wrong.
No, you were absolutely correct. But we'll close out on that. That's one of the things is, being we talked even before this show started. There was a lot of things about exclusivity, and restrictions about being able to charge more by restricting the number of people and the type of people and who you let in can increase your demand for being let in.
There's a lot to value.
That. Yes, perceived values there. You have to decline people. You have to shut people down. You have to drive that. So if everybody in the world can come and join XYZ Club. So there's I don't know where I put the card here.
Oh, there's a company.
There's a company, and here it is. There's a company in Powell, Ohio. Now, this is their card.
Right. No logo. Yep. No address.
QR code only.
Yep.
That's it.
No name of the manager and his cell phone number.
Yep. Nothing there. That's what you get.
Yep. That's it.
And it is probably, West and I have talked about opening a business just like this for at least 10 years now.
Oh, almost identical to their business model is what we've talked about.
Almost identical to their business model. So I'm really glad to see it happening out there.
Yeah.
And, one of these days, maybe I'll, if I get back in the area, that area, that'll be a definite business expense because it's a perfect place to conduct and transact business. I don't like their hours, but outside of that, everything else is beautiful.
Right. Beautiful. That's one of the problems. But look, when you come back into town, we're totally joining this thing. And we might even steal the idea and outdo them. But they don't need to know that part.
Oh, I don't have a problem. They can say, "Hey, they stole our idea." I'm like, "Yep." None of it's copyrightable.
Exactly.
So I was just out in I was just out in New York City earlier.
New York City.
Yeah, sorry, it's a requirement. Every time I say New York City,
Wes
has to say exactly that
true.
way. It is how it works. And I was down there, and so I didn't say it this time. I was down there, and I'm near the park, and there's this booth that has all these pretty cool images that you can get from Shutterfly. Mm-hmm. For those of you guys who don't know, Shutterfly, or is it Shutterfly or Shutterstock? I think there's both of them.
Well, Shutterfly is the printing. You're thinking of Shutterstock, which is the stock photo website.
Shutterstock is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, Shutterfly is the one that prints them.
Yeah, basically just Shutterstock images that have been printed probably by Shutterfly in mass.
Yep.
And there's a sign that says, "Please do not take pictures." And I lost it. I'm walking by and I'm laughing at it. And the guy looks at me, I'm like, none of this is copyrightable. None of it.
Right.
You don't take pictures. It's like the people who have the shape of the outline of like Ohio and it has home across it. There's absolutely nothing that you can copyright.
Yeah, no.
So there's a lot to look at when you're trying to start a business. A lot to think about, a lot to digest. That's what people like Wes and I are here for. That's what people like Remarket Media are here for.
It's true.
So reach out to us / them.
One of them.
And yes. And we'll make it happen for you. I think we're about done. We're an hour and a half in. We're good.
We've been going for a while. It's okay. It's a good show.
Yeah.
We had fun today.
I liked it. I love it when we get to do math. Math is fun.
Look, spreadsheets, that's where I get my true joy in life.
Man.
Kids come and go, but spreadsheets are forever.
Yeah, spreadsheets are forever. I mean, I couldn't tell you. Actually, I can tell you. I don't have a single, on this computer that I use for this show, I don't have a single spreadsheet.
Not shame, one. David, Google Docs is free.
I I have Office 365, so I have Excel.
Then you have Excel. There's no excuse. David.
I probably have. I have some saved in my OneDrive.
Do I really need to start producing our agenda on a spreadsheet? Because I will.
just so I have them.
I will put it on a spreadsheet.
I don't know. Maybe. Let's put it on a spreadsheet.
There's bullet points in their own rows. Like it's poetry. It's poetry.
You could do it. And the math, we could link, if we put each word in a cell, we could track over time
how many words,
what words resonate, which show gets the most views, and we could pick out the most common word in that. Yeah, there's a lot of nerding out we could do.
It's true. We could do this. We can make this happen.
We're not going to do that. No, please don't make that happen. There's no value in that at all. That's one of those, I've already got enough stuff to do. That's just, what I call busy work, that doesn't actually offer me value. It's just so that somebody else can say, yeah, he did that. Yeah. He checked that box.
Yeah. That's like 80% of most jobs out there, frankly. I mean, I hate to say it.
It is rough,
but it's true.
It is rough. Yeah. You boil away all the fluff stuff, and, you could cut, I will give this warning right now. Anybody that's in my group, in my tier, in my business, in the company I work with right now, if they put me in charge, odds are your job's not going to be here. I'm going to remove you and pay the people who actually produce very well. I'm going to pay them all of your combined salaries and basically increase my profits, my margins, and my revenues, and all of it across the board, and smile the whole time.
It's true. If you did away with all the fluff of most jobs, you could almost have enough time to run your own vending machine business.
You could almost,
at 6 hours a week.
6 hours a week. 6 hours.
I'm telling you.
Okay, I opened with this. I shall close with this, and this should be my last words for the evening. Bullshit.
And with that, we'll see you guys next week. Later.
curves and no rounds. I'll bring it to your city or your hometown. I'll go back in time when the feeling was fine. When funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way. A bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the food 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the food 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red, and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the food 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the food 'cause the funkin' was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good.